Hello, everybody, and welcome to Faz Wrestling, another episode on the channel. And we are going to be predicting Elimination Chamber, which will be happening this Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning, which is an unusual time for us guys. But we are all for it because that means that we're able to watch it and not be really, really tired. So, again, I am joined by my wonderful friend, Mr. Pete Pistols at Blackstone. Pete, how are you doing today, sir?
Yeah! I'm not too bad, thank you. Just as well as the last podcast, I'd say.
Hey, fantastic. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah. No, looking forward to predictions, to be honest, and I'm looking forward to Saturday morning.
Yep.
Because we are doing a live stream.
Oh, yeah. Something's happening. Join there, isn't it?
It's a live stream, mate.
Is it? Is that what we're doing?
We're doing a live stream.
Bam! We are doing our first ever live stream. So there are probably going to be issues. There are probably going to be problems, but it's okay.
There may even be fights.
There should be 4, I reckon.
Good lead on.
But yeah, we're going to be live streaming. It's going to be first time for us doing that because obviously we are a relatively new channel. So
And
again,
can I just say we are both awful at this. Like the talking we can do, but more so the technological side of things, we are both incredibly clueless.
Yeah. It's all a learning curve for the pair of us, really, isn't it? We tried to make a YouTube short the other day. Oh, that was a task and a half.
My girlfriend had to make it for us. Didn't know what to
do. We're winning. We've got someone to do it for us, so that's absolutely fine. But yes, it is a forever learning curve for the pair of us. So,
yeah.
But we have the full intention of going live and streaming and having it alongside and just the general reactions to everything that's going on. I think, again, it should be good fun, something new, something interesting for us to do. So, yep, we should probably be there, starting it up like 9:30, just to get everything in the motion. Obviously, people are piping in, joining in, questions, having a laugh with us, having just a chat, whatever. It would be great if we can get people on board with that.
Definitely.
So hopefully we get some people there. If not, it'll just be me and you like it is doing all this sort of stuff, and we'll have a fucking great time. So everybody wins, quite literally.
Yeah, green apples.
Fuck yeah. She likes apples. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I'm not going on a Pablo Francisco chat. We're not going down there because we will be here for a long time. We could. But yeah, so we're here to do our predictions of what we think is going to happen at Elimination Chamber. It's quite a short one. There's not that many matches to predict. I think as excited as I am to watch it, again, with our first live and stuff like that, I am excited for it. But I also do feel it's a very predictable card. I don't think there's a lot of room for any real upsets. I think it's pretty open and shut, open and close, whatever the phrase is, of where all this is going to go. I don't know if you've got any thoughts, opinions on that sort of thing.
Oh, I agree. I don't think our thoughts will be squashed. I think everything will be pretty much dead on what we think. But let's crack on with it. Let's.
Yeah, that's it. So speaking of squashing, first match we've got down is the Women's World Championship between Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. What are your thoughts on this, sir?
I hate Nia Jax. I just hate her. Like, I like the voice. I like your version of the voice. I like doing the voice sometimes myself. But I nearly did it then, just by accident.
I heard it in
I hate her. I hate her. I hate her. And I think it's all leading up to WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. So it's all leading there. All roads lead to that. I think. Could be wrong. But I think it'll be a pretty. We spoke about this briefly on our last podcast. That I don't think it'll be a good match. I want it to be. I know you've got hopes for it. I want it to be a good match. I just can't see it being. I think Nia Jax is too stiff. She's not great. I just don't like Nia Jax. That's it. That's all it comes down to.
I think one thing we've established is you're not Nia Jax's biggest fan. But yeah, I think to kind of like I said, we briefly touched upon it on the last podcast, and I'll kind of say it again for the record. I think this is going to be make or break for Nia Jax. I think if Nia Jax can deliver a good match here, I think that's going to do her wonders. I think if Nia Jax has a bad night at the office, I don't think we're going to see a lot of Nia Jax. I think she's going to completely disappear off the radar. I think this is massive for her. I do like the work she's been doing. I do like how they've presented her and stuff like that. She's come back. I think it's a little bit of something. It's a bit fresher. It's a bit different. And I think she's done well. I do think she's done well, despite the fact that she has the most hilarious voice and the best voice ever. Like, I'm all for it. Like, I really hope. I really hope it's a good match. I do, because I think, like I said before, that the crowd, obviously, with it being in Australia, Perth, Australia, they're going to be behind Rhea. And it's like Rhea is going to, even though she's the heel, she is going to be the toppest of baby faces when she's there. So who could you possibly put her up against? I know, Nia Jax, who everybody hates. It's the perfect person. You couldn't have a Becky in there, because I don't think it'd be as effective. You've got to have someone, because Rhea's going to be so cheered for and so face. You've got to have the complete contrast, which I can't think of anybody better than Nia Jax for that, which is why I really hope they have a good match and it pops.
Can I explain to you why that is?
Of course you can, my friend.
Because no one likes Nia Jax.
Well, I wouldn't say no one.
Nia Jax likes Nia Jax.
And here at Faz Wrestling, there is one person who really likes her voice.
It is not me.
If you couldn't tell, it's me. No, I like her. But yeah, how do you think the match is going to go? Do you think there's any particular spots they might do? Is there any interferences you think there might be? Or do you think this is just open and shut and whatever your prediction is?
I don't think it'd be as effective. I don't think they can have Judgment Day come down. I really don't. Because mainly for the fact that she's going to be face in that. And if you bring Judgment Day into it, everyone has their own views about Judgment Day, but they are heel. So they'll get boos and she won't get. No, I think it'll be a clean match, and I think it'll be a clean win as well. I genuinely do. I don't see
Nia Jax.
No.
Go on. Who do you think, my friend?
It's going to be Rhea.
Yeah.
I'm quite confident it's going to be Rhea.
Yeah, I agree. I think I wholeheartedly agree. I think Rhea. I don't think there's a chance Nia Jax gets anything out of it. I don't think there's going to be a DQ. Again, you said the word clean there, clean match. I think it'll be a clean match also. I don't think there'll be any interferences. I think it will just be a one-on-one, which again is why I think it would make or break for Nia. I think depending on the placement of this match is really interesting. I think if this is placed as the main event, I think the winner of the Women's Chamber, we won't spoil it yet, but we know who it's going to be. I think they will then make an appearance to solidify that WrestleMania match. So I think it's going to be the main event. I think this is going to be the final match. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
No.
Where would you think?
Elimination Chamber final match.
Men's will be the final match.
Yeah. What are the other two matches in between?
In between that, you've also got the Women's Chamber, the Men's Chamber, and you've got the tag match of Judgment Day against Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne.
I think so. I'll do a run through real quick.
For the belts.
It'll start with Women's Chamber.
Yeah.
Then the tag belt. Oh no, actually, it could be 1-1-1-1 kind of thing. So I think it might start with the tag. Yeah, it'll start with the tag belts. You might even see like a small injury to one of the Judgment Day, and that's another reason why they can't come down and help. Then and there's another thing. Do you reckon she'll have Dom come out with him? Because I don't. Because Dom
I don't. I completely agree with you. I think it is going to be just Rhea Ripley, just Nia Jax, and that match is going to be no interference, no shenanigans. It's just going to be a one-on-one clean match.
So second to last match, I'd say. Start with the tags, then Women's Chamber. Second to last match, Rhea Ripley, and then last match, Men's Chamber.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think you bang on with that. Actually, come to think of it, because then you could still do that spot that I said. It doesn't necessarily have to be, as long as it follows the Women's Chamber, it still works. So yeah, I think you're absolutely bang on with that script of how they're going to do it and stuff like that. Yeah, completely agree. I think we're both in agreement there that Rhea Ripley's winning that match without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
I think it makes total sense for us to go on to the next match, which is the Women's Chamber match, which consists of Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez.
Now, I had a really good spot that I'd love to see in this, but I don't think it'll ever happen, mainly because of physics and gravity. But I would love to see somehow Bianca swing off the chamber via her hair. But again, I don't see it happening. But I think that'd be an amazing spot as well. It'd probably rip her hair out, and it wouldn't work. You're trapped. But how good of a spot would that be?
It would be incredible. It's like Spider-Man with his like choo-choo. Hers is just like whipping her hair into the bits of the cage while she swings around. Like, I do think there'll be some sort of spot with Bianca's hair, because it feels like for the big matches, that's what they tend to do. Is like, right, how can we get her hair involved in this, like, in some sort of mad spot? Like, they'll tie her up against the chamber or something, so she can't move.
She slaps the letters off Naomi's head.
Yeah, take that, Nomi. Naom.
Or me.
But yeah, I agree. I think there would be definitely a spot involving her hair. There will be Liv Morgan is going to be jumping off the top of one of the pods at some stage, because she kind of had that little gimmick of being the high flyer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think apart from that, like, you've always got the people involved. Raquel Rodriguez. I kind of want to save my Raquel Rodriguez kind of rant for this, as opposed to the Raw review. It's not so much a rant, but I'm not a biggest fan. I think she's clearly got the size. She's clearly can wrestle, but she is on par with Zoe Stark as the most boring character on that women's division. There is nothing there. Like, and it's a shame, because you know there's potential, but she's been there for quite a bit now. I think she's been there for well over a year at least, and there's no sign of development or progression. She's had injuries that set her back. Obviously, that's why she's been off TV for a little bit. But even so, there's just nothing there. Like, I really struggle to get invested in Raquel. I don't see her threatening in that main event scene.
I completely agree. Mainly for the amount of time she's been there. I agree. So I don't. What I'm going to say, we'll go 6-1 now. 6, I think, out first is going to be Raquel.
Yeah.
I
think that's
outlasting for it. Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Lasting first out. There you go. Lasting first out.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm just having a little skim over at the other names there as well. Like, I hope they've more. To be fair, this is it. This is the other side of it. Like, I'd agree with that, but that's because I care about Raquel the least. The other 5, I like Bianca is going to be in the final 2 because it's Bianca Belair. Even though, again, I'm quite bored of her character. I think she needs something to develop now, and like she kind of twisted with the potential like heel turn. Like, I think after last year's WrestleMania, maybe, and they just haven't done it. And I don't know.
I'll give you one, just because it's 2 people, because it's one person coming back. I reckon it'll be Liv and Becky in the final, and it'll be Liv who eliminates Bianca.
Ooh, that's tasty. I've got time for that. See, I don't know. This is it. Right, I tell you. No, we'll save it. Like, I think there's lots of potential. So in terms of eliminating who, I'm a bit stuck. Where I'm like, I would like someone like Tiffany Stratton to eliminate Bianca, and then they have a bit of a one-on-one, because I think that
she needs a big,
good for Tiff, a big time person to be against, to really put her over. I've got a lot of time for that. Naomi, I want Naomi to do well, but I think it would be Raquel and Naomi as the first 2 eliminated.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Then I would probably go Tiff to get eliminated. I'd then go Liv to get eliminated, and then have Becky and Bianca as the last 2, and Bianca gets eliminated by Becky. I think that's what I would do, but I'd also like different variations. That's how I think it's going to be. I'm putting my money on the table.
I'm going to switch around. So, Raquel first, Naomi second, but I'm going to switch Bianca to 4th. I think I like that spot. I like Tiff eliminating Bianca, and then her being in the final 3, and then getting eliminated by whoever. And then I think it'll be Liv, because I think they're really pushing for Liv Morgan's comeback.
Yeah, again, I've got time for that. It's just because Bianca's such a big name. Like, when I look at those names there, I see Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, main eventers. And then I see Liv, Tiff, Naomi. Well, I see, to be technically, Liv and Naomi middle.
Yeah.
And then Tiff and Raquel lower. Although they see Raquel as higher, but that is just my opinion. But I want this to be a statement for Tiff. I could see Tiff doing the prettiest moonsault ever, definitely off one of the pods. I think that is absolutely nailed on to happen into, a crowd of them. That's got to happen, because if not, what a fucking waste.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're both going to be in agreement on the winner of this. That I kind of said it there. I think we both said it there. Yeah, Becky to win. Yeah, they've kind of. I think that the one problem they've had with this, which is a real shame, is when they had the press conference, they had Becky Lynch come out and confront Rhea Ripley, and that was basically saying, "This is what the main event. This is what is going to happen at WrestleMania," and that I think that's a shame, because if they had not done that, I think this conversation could be a little bit more interesting, because I would be more sold on Liv could win, because she's got a reason to do it and blah, blah, blah. Bianca could win because Bianca's a big name and they always want her involved, and she's never lost at WrestleMania. No, actually, I don't think she's never lost. I don't think she's ever lost at WrestleMania.
Not lost at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think that's her stat, innit? It's something like that. But you know what I mean? You could bounce these ideas off and have a discussion, but because they did that, you're like, no, that's where they want to go. Like, I can't see an upset in there. I can't, you know what I mean? I think, again, that is absolutely nailed on to happen.
I think there could be a so I'm just Googling that.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, we're right. But I think there could be a surprise elimination. I think it will be Bianca.
Yeah, I think you could be right with that. I'm not. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen, but I can absolutely totally agree that could happen. Do you know what I mean? That's a good possibility. Because that's the other side of this, like we said, it's quite predictable, that you're kind of looking for, are they going to throw in some twists? What are they going to do to make it a talking point? Or are they just going to go, it is what it is, we're not asked because we've got WrestleMania coming up after. Do you know what I mean?
That could be why they put such big name stars in it, like they've done with the men's. No upsets or anything like that. Just like watch these amazing people wrestle and then just enjoy it.
Again, I know we've spoke about in the past where this Elimination Chamber has been changed significantly, mainly due to Punk getting injured, so he's ruled out. Like Seth Rollins, I have no doubt would be defending his championship here if he wasn't injured. Again, I have no doubt. Well, I think how this was originally planned is that Seth would be facing X, whoever that person is, probably Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
The men's chamber would be won by CM Punk to then set up Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania. I think that was the original plan. Therefore, having both men injured kind of stumps it a bit. Obviously, Lesnar, with all the stuff that happened with him, he can't go. Gunther's visa, he can't go. Brock, Roman weren't scheduled to go in the first place, so they were never going to go. So you've lost a hell of a lot of star power there. So, like you said there, they've tried to kind of compensate that by just putting the biggest names in the Elimination Chamber matches. I think that applies for both Elimination Chamber matches, to be fair, because even the women's, is there many big name women that aren't there? Charlotte, she's injured. Bayley, she's obviously with the feud with Sky. She's already in WrestleMania. Doesn't really need to feature.
And
Asuka and Kairi Sane there. I mean, they could defend the tag belts, but they could have made. Well, yeah, they could have obviously got somebody to have a match with, but they haven't. But they could have done that. It would have been nice to have just another match in there for me personally. I think.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
It just means that you guaranteed some good Elimination Chamber matches. It's going to go.
Yeah, that's the bonus.
That usually they'd go, we've not got time for this, so scrap this spot. Whereas they're going to have time for everything.
100%.
Right.
Yeah, and I think from that, moving nicely, a nice little segue there. We've then got the match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships with Judgment Day against Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates, which I think echoes exactly what you've just said there, where by having a shorter card, smaller card, however you want to word it, I think that's going to be I wouldn't say match of the night, because technically it's the only match that's not in the fucking chamber, apart from the women's. But I think that's going to what's the phrase? Not raise a few eyebrows, but like I think that's going to be a banger of a match. I think that's going to be a better match than people are expecting it to be.
Have you heard why the thingy was let go? The SmackDown commentator.
What's it called? Kevin Patrick.
Yeah, do you know why he was let go?
Because he was really bad at his job.
Is that? But I also heard a rumor that it was because he called Tyler Bates a small man, and Triple H hates it when you call any of his talent small. Like even if they are like smaller than usual, but he called in a match. He was literally in the match where he was swinging him around. You know when he had him and he's just swinging.
Oh yeah.
He was looking him for a small man to be able to do that, and it was ever since then he wasn't on again.
That was probably the final straw because Kevin Patrick was under some. I think he was on his last chance anyway because he was bad. He was obviously interviewer backstage.
Yeah.
And they then put him onto commentary, and it never worked from day one. He was like, what's the thing? Thingy in headlights. What's that in a head?
Deer in headlights. Yeah.
Yeah, deer in headlights. He was just so out of his depth. He'd just be fumbling. He would like his words. He just wouldn't know what to say. Cole was just saving him week on week because he just, it's like Cole would say his bit and he'd be like, yeah, that's great. And that's it. Like, do you know what I mean? He absolutely, it was sink or swim, and fuck me, did he sink? Yeah. It just did not work. And I felt bad for him because it was like, you don't want him to fucking like lose his job and stuff like that, but he was fucking shit.
You were happy to see the back of him, basically.
Yeah. But apparently he's on like some fucking American football or some sports fucking thing, like commentating on there and stuff like that. So he's found his feet elsewhere. He's managed to get straight to another job. And apparently, like from what I've heard, he's right at home there. He's a lot more comfortable with all that.
Yeah.
Fair play to him, absolutely fine. But I don't doubt that as being the last straw of him, coming out with something else that everyone's going, right, that's it. Shut the fuck up now. I can't be doing with it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think that match is going to be, and I think it's going to be a banger. I think this is almost a match where I think it's going to put Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne on the map. Like, Pete Dunne has finally gone to the Pete Dunne character. They've got rid of this butch stuff and all that. And it's like, right, they're not the most well-known. And I think they're going to technically, they're both fucking superb. So I think this is going to give them, as you said, a nice time frame. I think a good 20 minutes to half an hour match of solid in-ring work.
Yeah.
And I think it will bang it.
You can't argue with Damian Priest and Finn Balor because they are just brilliant. Yeah,
they're self-explanatory. I didn't even need to touch on them.
The founder of the Bullet Club, do you know what I mean? He is the man.
Too sweet. But yeah, no, I completely agree. With those two, they're solid workers. They're going to do the bits, and I just think this is going to really show off Dunne and Bates and kind of put them on the map. So where do you think the match is going? Who's going to win?
I think there's still I can see because there's not really. If we think WrestleMania is going to pan out like it is, I think the only upset in this Elimination Chamber would be them losing, but Judgment Day losing, and maybe in the rematch getting it straight back, but giving them to Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates such a good match and the titles for even if it's just 3 days or a week because they're on SmackDown, aren't they? Yeah. Even if it's a week, and then the first match they have, maybe some interference from another, I don't know, someone else.
JD.
Yeah, I think they're going to interfere. Judgment Day as a whole are definitely all going to be into it, but you never know. DIY might come out or something like that. But I think this is the only one that has the potential to be upsetting, as an upset kind of thing. And Judgment Day.
It's such a good match.
And that's Judgment Day losing.
Yeah, I mean, so what's your prediction?
I'm going to predict Judgment Day lose.
Lose? So you think they're going to lose?
I think Tyler Bates, and I think it's the only one that has the potential to be a massive upset in the whole card.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I 100% agree because it's nuts, right? Because I was literally working today and I was thinking about like this pay-per-view, like what the review, I was going through it all, I was working away. And that was literally the exact same as what you've just said there, where I was like, if there's going to be an upset or something that's going to be a bit of a twist, it's going to be that match. And I was like, no, because I am set that they're going to go with Miz and Truth beat Judgment Day at WrestleMania. Like, I'm adamant that's the avenue they're going down.
Still happen though.
But literally, as you just said there, they could lose and be like, what the fuck, blah, blah, blah. Right, we want our rematch fucking on Friday. And then they lose. Then they switch back. Or, you know what I mean? Because there's no other pay-per-view, so it'll have to happen on a SmackDown or a Raw. Because obviously, that enables Dunn and Bates to then go to whichever brand they want to go on. So it could obviously it could be on SmackDown for the rematch because they're entitled to, or Raw because they'll go over to Raw. But I could see that. Because I mean, my prediction is Judgment Day. I think Judgment Day retaining purely on the basis of I think Awesome Truth are taking those titles off them at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think it will give it that extra bit of shine if no one has beaten them for this long, and it's Truth and Miz. It'll make that moment more special.
Yeah.
Whereas, as I said, I completely agree with you on that other side of it because I could absolutely see that as the twist and the plot. Oh shit, no way, they fucking lost the titles. But I think my prediction personally is that it's going to be a really good match. I think there's going to be near falls for Bates and Dunn to win. I think that there will be interference. I think you're going to see a Dom, you're going to see a JD, and that's how Judgment Day retain the titles. So I don't think they'll get like a visual pin or anything, but I think they'll have them beat. And then through the crowd comes Dom, comes JD, have a scrap in there, and then Finn and Priest win it from there. So, but like I said, I would probably prefer your way if I'm honest, but I do think that's
we've got to say both
they're
sides,
go down.
so
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, totally agree with that.
It's like going to a casino and going, I'll have 50p on red, and you going, hey stranger, I'll have 50p on black. Guaranteed to double our money.
Money. Dollar. And then to wrap that up, to wrap the matches up, we've got the men's chamber match, which is Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. Thoughts, sir?
I'm at a bit of a loss with why Lashley's there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be Drew. I want, obviously, my most over wrestler at the minute, LA Knight. Love him to win, but there's been no talk between him and Seth. There's been nothing. I don't really see how he can go into it. He's still feuding with the Bloodline. So it doesn't really make sense. I mean, I'd love it if he got a title shot again, which he will in the future because he's got to get a title at some point. It might even be Seth goes out for a few months because he's injured and he's the one to take it off Drew. Massive face against a massive heel. Mm-hmm. But I think it's going to be Drew winning. I think Lashley's going to be out first. And he's going to do a couple of spears, but he's going to be out. It's going to be heavily focused on Logan Paul and Kevin Owens because their feud's going on. It's just I think I wouldn't be surprised if it was either the last three: Randy, LA Knight, and Drew. But yeah. I still don't understand why Lashley's in it. I don't know what spots he can, unless he's there for a massive spot that's his closing match. I don't understand because it's not going to be because they're going to carry on with the New Testament, the Bible thumpers, and the street boys,
the racists,
the racists. And
yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with what you're saying there. Totally agree about Lashley. We said that from the minute he qualified. Why you wouldn't throw Bronson Reed in there is beyond me. With him being Australian, just to give him a good showing, and it bumps up Bronson Reed. It promotes it. You know what I mean? Yeah. He will get cheered, even though he's a dick and he's a heel. But the crowd are going to support him because he's one of their own, and they just let him have a few big spots. He could get eliminated first, as long as he has a few big spots. You what? Sorry.
Bunch of convicts.
But it's like, you can let him have all these spots, like a handful. Let him have a good showing, and then you could, like I said, you could eliminate him first. That's adequate enough. Whereas Lashley, I feel there's no benefit apart from it's Bobby Lashley. Yeah. I mean, even like wrestling in ring, are they trying to give him a bit of bit of time to kind of get him back into it. He's not been wrestling as much, but even so, I think that's a really big missed opportunity. Unless there's some sort of reason as to why Bronson Reed isn't going, I think that's a really bizarre one. But again, totally agree. I think Lashley's going out first. And if he's not, I'm going to be really disappointed because I don't think he should be going above anybody else in that match.
No.
Totally agree about KO and Logan. They're kind of going to rekindle that feud that they've already kind of started. I think between the pair of them, that's where your highlights are going to come from here. The big spots, like I think I mentioned before, I can absolutely see Logan Paul like monkey barring the top of the thing and then doing like a frog splash off the top or something like that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see a big spot like that happening from him. KO, fuck me, they could fucking break the chamber and have KO on top and just launch him into the crowd and KO will be out for it. Like that's just Kevin Owens. Like literally, yeah, he loves all the mental spots. So I could 1,000,000% see KO being involved in something where you're going, ooh, like a rough spot, you know, like I don't know, having him, I don't know, like power bombed off the top of a pod or something like that, or something along those lines. I could 1,000,000% see that with KO.
Yeah.
LA Knight is an interesting one in this. Like, do I feel like AJ's going to get involved? Because I feel that's his path at the minute. I think him and AJ is where...
that's what I said, isn't it? Because I thought this was going to lead up to Elimination Chamber for them to have a match, but obviously there's nothing on the line, is there? So it's hard to kind of incorporate it in.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel, apart from that, like Knight has obviously got he's got like awkward beef with Orton. He's created beef with Drew because they've got their... Obviously, we're doing this before Friday's SmackDown, which we won't even review anyway because of the pay-per-view start time and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a weird one with Knight. I think, obviously, he'll have a decent showing, but I can't really predict how it's going to go for him. Could he get eliminated early doors because AJ gets involved and screws him over? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm really not sure about him. And Orton, again, I think Orton's going to come out last because they're trying to protect Orton at all costs. So I think, without a shadow of a doubt, he's coming out last of those pods.
What do you reckon to Drew coming out first?
I could see it. I could absolutely see it and just absolutely fucking banging out everybody. I could see Drew being the one to eliminate Lashley also. So I think that kind of fits. I reckon if I was a betting man, I would have Drew and Lashley start. Next, I would have either KO or Logan Paul. After that, I would have the other of KO and Logan Paul. I would then have LA Knight and then have Randy Orton. And then my eliminations would be Lashley to go out first. I would then have... Oh, this is tough.
It is.
I'd have Lashley to go out first. I would have Logan Paul to go out next. I'd then have KO to get eliminated because I could see Logan Paul doing something on his way out.
Yeah.
To then screw KO. And KO gets eliminated. And then it's a complete toss-up. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to then say... So I'm going to say Lashley first, then Logan Paul, then Kevin Owens, then Randy Orton, and it's going to be Drew and LA Knight to follow on from whatever goes down on Friday, SmackDown. I think something will happen. Them two will be the last two, and Drew will win and come out on top, and Drew will be the winner. What about you, sir? Do you feel similarly, or any variation on that?
I think that's spot on. But I reckon with what they're saying now with I reckon it won't be clean, but I reckon it could even be KO going out before Logan, and then KO doing something dirty on his way out to get Logan out. Because obviously they're trying to put one from the last week of KO saying, I'll do what, I don't know if you know who I am, but I'll do whatever I need to win. So
yeah, I think you're right. I want to retract my statement because I can absolutely see 100% KO getting like pinned or whatever, Logan doing him dirty, and Logan like celebrating and going over the top, and then Kevin Owens hits him with a stunner. The crowd goes nuts, and then he gets pinned. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think, 100%. I think you're right. So you think it's going to be Knight and Drew's the final two? Is that what your money's on?
I reckon Knight and Orton.
Yeah.
So no, sorry. What?
What? Hold me back. I'm going to get him.
I reckon Knight and Drew. Yeah.
Yeah, it is
I
an
reckon
interesting one with Orton.
got to this point. Randy doesn't need a pop. Do you know what I mean?
No.
LA Knight. So I think LA Knight is the one who's going to get out Randy Orton, like you said.
I think that'd be good because then that'd kind of, like I said, they've got that kind of weird friendship relationship sort of thing at the minute, haven't they? Where it's like my enemy is my friend or whatever the phrase is. You know what I mean? Where they both got the same goal. They don't particularly like each other, but they both want to get the bloodline. So again, I mean that's the other side. You then touched upon that at the start when we were talking about this, that Knight was going after the bloodline not so long ago. So that's his focus. The other side of this is Drew McIntyre, Monday Night Raw, where the belt is. Orton, SmackDown. Lashley, SmackDown. Knight, SmackDown. KO, SmackDown. Logan Paul, predominantly SmackDown. So you've only got one person on the Raw roster where the title is who's going in this Elimination Chamber match, which I think is also, even though the brand split isn't particularly that relevant, because if you want to get technical, Cody is going to beat Roman, please, and he's on Raw. So is that a switcheroo? Is it heavyweight title to SmackDown?
Have you only just put that together? I didn't notice that at all. Have you only just figured it out now, or did you think of it earlier?
To be fair, I noticed a few was on SmackDown. I didn't quite, like, even KO and Logan, I started to forget that they were on SmackDown. But I did think of Raw people. There's not anybody, really. Like, again, which is why it amazes me that Sami Zayn is not in this match. Because he's another Raw guy and has a very valid reason to go for this title and actually wants to win the title. Whereas KO and Logan are involved in this US Championship thing. So it's like, well, they're not going to win because that's kind of what they're on. Knight doesn't want that title. He's on about the other one. Orton doesn't want that title. He's on about the other one. Bobby Lashley's fighting with priests. So what are we doing here?
Not like, with priests.
With priests, yeah, like these like Bible bashers. Like I think it's a shame because again, the biggest thrill of this sort of match is who could win? And I just think it's so clearly, obviously going to be Drew that it just takes that shine off it. Similar to the women's one, because they've kind of said it's going to be Becky.
Yeah.
It reflects the exact same in this men's one where it's going to be like, well, it's going to be Drew. Like, it can't be anybody else. And I think that's a shame. And I think that's what kind of dampens it a little bit. But I think irrespective of that, it's going to be a good match. Do you know what I mean? It's going to absolutely pop. Like, it's going to be good. There's going to be some good spots in there. There's going to be some RKOs. An RKO for Pod to Logan Paul. I think there's a possibility.
Or Kevin Owens Sonson bomb into an RKO.
Oh, that would be tasty. It would be difficult, but it would be tasty. Of him doing the actual motion and getting him from the opposite side. Oh, I like that. I like that. And you know that KO signed up to that. KO's not going to go, nah, I'm not really feeling that. He's going to go, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Like, I genuinely think KO would do some of the most fucking insane spots if he was allowed to. Like, you know, and they're kind of like promoting, like, you know, what they want to do in ring and stuff. I would love to hear some of KO's ideas because I bet they're fucking outrageous. And Triple H is just like, no, you can't do that, Kev.
Like Mick Foley 2.0, isn't it? It's just...
I don't think he's quite on. I don't think anybody's going to be on Mick Foley's level. But I think in that conversation, definitely.
I think that about wraps us up, mate.
Yeah, well, we've just one teeny tiny bit just to throw in there as well. We do also have a Grayson Waller effect. So that's it, Grayson Waller's little talk show thing. So this little segment that's going to be squeezed in somewhere along the program. And his guests are Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Yeah. And my question to you is
going to be an announcement.
What do you think is going to happen?
I have no idea. For this one, I have no idea because it could genuinely be a WrestleMania tag team announcement. But I think Seth's got... Then what happens? Does Drew not win the title?
This is it. I think that's the most unpredictable part of the show, which I think is quite hilarious that I'm saying a Grayson Waller effect segment is the most unpredictable part of the show. Because I think there's so many possibilities in there. I hope what they do is Seth and Cody are talking shit and going on. Roman Reigns' music hits and him and Rock just turn up. And that will pop the crowd. They're not supposed to be there. No one's expected them. Even if they just came out and they had a stare down, it would absolutely bang. Everyone would go fucking nuts for it because no one's expecting it. I think that would be effective. Again, I think there could be a big announcement there. Again, could be that a proposition of a tag match. They could challenge them to a tag match at WrestleMania. I don't know, but I am intrigued as to where that's going to go. Is that going to set up an impromptu match or whatever the name, a match that's not scheduled, and it would be Cody and Seth against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory? I think they could do that also. I could absolutely see that happening, and Cody and Seth win. Oh no, because Seth's injured. Seth can't fight. Seth can't wrestle, so it can't be that. I don't know, but I think that could be an interesting little 15-minute segment.
Yeah.
Which
I'm not too sure what it's going to entail, and I don't have the capacity in my brain to even guess what's going to happen in that match. I really don't. That segment.
Yeah. No, I agree. I really hope it's something good though. That's why I kind of really hope that it's just Rock and Reigns turn up. And even if they have like a little fisticuffs in the ring, or like I said, but maybe not again because Seth's injured. But a stare down, I think, would be bang on. Just that music hitting, the crowd going fucking bananas for it, I think would just be a big success. And it'd be interesting to see what Grayson Waller's reaction is. Will he get cheered because he's in Australia, or will they still just booing because it's funny and it's Grayson Waller and he's a bit of a dick?
I think he'll get booed.
Yeah, I like Grayson Waller though. I've said it before. I think he's just a young Miz. Yeah, like he's like a more modern day Miz. If you know what I mean. Like he's a dick, but he's more like down with the kids. Like he's more like all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
but and that literally is Elimination Chamber. So just to summarize, for myself, I think Rhea's going to win the championship, Drew's going to win the Chamber, Becky's going to win the Chamber, Judgment Day are going to win the tag match, and then Cody and Seth are going to have a segment. I'm going to call it. I think Rock and Reigns are coming out. That's what I think is going to happen. That's my prediction. If we're going to call it a prediction, that's what I predict.
Okay.
What about yourself, sir?
Don't know about the Grayson Waller effect.
Don't know. We've been here for like 40 odd minutes, but I don't know.
I think it'll be Rhea. I think the end piece will be Rhea Ripley, not just doing the riptide, but then squashing Nia Jax.
I hope so. That would be nice.
I think it's going to be Becky. I think it's going to be Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne. And then I think it's going to be Drew. But again, this announcement could change every one of my decisions about that. So that's why I don't. Because if they decide to announce a tag and then be the first two people to do one night of WrestleMania and the second as well, because they would be, Roman would be there as well. They'd be the first three people to do that. I just don't know if it's viable. Because can you afford to do that? What if Cody gets injured?
Yeah, that's it.
But I don't know.
Lad, imagine if Cody Rhodes picks up an injury on the way to WrestleMania.
No,
How hilarious that would be, because they'd already sacked off Cody Rhodes for WrestleMania. Then you have this backlash, making the main event. They do, and he gets injured and can't do it anyway. Well, guess we're going to go out to Rock and Roman, aren't we? Rock now hates him again. His father is my father. I don't give a fuck about your candy-ass father. So, Roman, what do you think about the main event of WrestleMania? Well, it doesn't matter what you think. But yeah, that wraps up our predictions. Just again to put in that little plug, we are going live to watch Elimination Chamber. So hopefully get people to join. The start time will be 10 o'clock in the morning. That's when the show will kick off. We want to be live before then. People can come along, join along. That'll be fantastic. As per usual, if you can subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Help us out. Help us grow. Get more people involved. Everybody's a winner. So, Pete, have you got any final thoughts for this prediction show?
I do. Did you know that identical twins don't have completely different fingerprints? Which I was going to wait and save for a match with Jay and Jimmy and mention it then. But then I realised, because I was going to say, what if one committed the other crime? And then you see the fingerprints and I'd be like, no, it would be that. But then I realised they've both been arrested so many times that they've got both the fingerprints on this one. So it doesn't really work. But yeah, identical twins have different fingerprints.
And I couldn't think of a better way to end the show. That is fantastic. As always, my friend, thank you for your time. Thank you for your opinions. And me and Pete will be back to join you on Saturday morning. So hopefully we shall see you guys soon. So adios, amigos, and peace out.
Wrestling.